The world just witnessed another Quincy Wilson sighting, and let me tell you, this one is something different. If you didn't get to watch the race live, I am going to fill you in, because this is one of those moments where I planned on making this video, but I didn't think it was going to go like this. So I'm just going to get into it. Like, I'm going to let it rip and see how the chips fall. So let's go. Quincy Wilson shows up to the Ed Murphey Classic. And again, I'm going to give you the full story. He's a high school athlete, and yes, he went to the Olympic Games last year. His PR was 44.20 seconds from last season. Like, he ran that at the Olympic trials. But this year, as far as I can tell, Quincy Wilson had not broken the 45 flat barrier. He is essentially living a double life, one as a high school track athlete and as a pro. But this is the pro part. When he goes to Ed Murphey, and yeah, their 400-meter section, he was running with the same men who are competing at world championships. Some of them have won medals. They've competed and won Olympic medals on relays, all of that. And he won. But he didn't just win. He ran a brand new PR of 44.10 seconds. And I didn't see that coming at all. I mean, when the gun goes off, Quincy Wilson just takes off. He's like, forget about that. Forget about pacing. I'm going to run this first 100 and make sure y'all know I'm in this race. He was ahead from the gun to the line. I mean, yeah, there's staggers, but it's pretty clear he's ahead. By the time he gets to the home straight, he just has to hold everybody off. And yeah, he actually did. When I give the full story, remember, I said he hadn't run that fast throughout the high school season. I am the guy who does high school national recruit rankings. And I just put out a list for the class of 2026. I mean, hey, still tinkering with it, but yeah, the list is already up if you really want to see it on the site. And I gave Quincy Wilson a 99. But you have to understand, full disclosure, I almost didn't give it to him. I almost gave him a 98. I mean, I gave him a 99, but let me tell you the reason. Because he hadn't run that fast during the high school season. Quincy Wilson really only has one event, like one that he does at the highest level, and that's the 400. And there are other boys in high school who can run the 400 at a high level. He's competed with them and even lost some races. So when you see that, and then you have other high school athletes who are breaking high school national records and, breaking multiple high school national records, going, number one on leaderboards in multiple events. Like, I'm talking about sprinters now. You can see where that kind of puts Quincy in a unique place. But that's because Quincy Wilson is unique. Because college coaches actually care about the context. The context that Quincy Wilson is running. Like, it's not just high school meets. Remember, I said he's living a double life. And when you look at the high school side, yes, he's one of the best high school recruits in the nation. But then he shows up to these professional races, or USA's, USA trials, whatever it is, and he's no longer the same kid. That's what's happening on the clock. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it. 44.10 seconds at the Ed Murphey Classic, his first outdoor race against the pros. I mean, yeah, winning that New Balance against the high school kids, that's just a foregone conclusion. That's what he was going to do anyway. Besides, we don't even do, all the high school meets, like all the national meets at the same place. Like, there's fast kids running over here and over there, so nobody really knows who the best one is until they line up. And Quincy Wilson is proving that when you get to the USAs this year in a few weeks, forget about everything else we saw for the rest of the season. Because trust me, before this gun went off, I looked at the world leaderboards and wanted to see which Americans were on there. But I don't see a name on there that Quincy Wilson has any reason to be scared of. Because if you're running 44.1, and history is telling us, again, we're just going to focus on this year, when he comes to the USAs, he is going to be ready. Remember, he was at the Olympic trials last year, so he ain't going to be scared. And the evidence tells us he's just going to continue to run fast times. Like, he's going to hang around in those 44s and knock on the door of the 43s. Very few men can actually go that fast, much less do it when they actually need to. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. The truth about the 400 for Team USA right now is that the event and incredibly wide open. Because once Michael Norman kind of started dealing with injuries, like the talent that he displayed was on another level. And once Fred Curley decided to leave the event entirely and focus on the 100, I mean, again, his talent was on another level. Now, it entirely opens up what's left for everybody else to do. Ironically, Quincy Hall, who just won the Olympic gold in the 400, granted, he's very different from Quincy Wilson if you're talking about the report, but the way that he runs is somewhat similar to Quincy Wilson. Like, the way he does it. Because if you're looking at the report, like between Quincy's 200, his 400, even his open 100, at least the ones that we have, recorded, there is no real reason why his 400 should be that fast. But they are. And there's no point in questioning it anymore. It just is what it is. When it comes to making Team USA for the Worlds, he had a very real shot of doing it. Because if you're going to run like this, I mean, yes, some people could beat you. But like I said, the super talented Americans, like the ones we've had in the last 5 to 7 years, the two names that I would be choosing, they're no longer a threat. They're not even going to be at the USAs as far as I can tell. And everybody else, even though Quincy Hall is an Olympic gold medalist, I have no reason to believe that I can count on these names. Like, because the rest of them, I mean, whether, who do you want? Ja'Cory Patterson, Caleb McRae, I mean, Chris Bailey. Yes, they could make the team, and they probably will. I mean, in theory, like, there's a good reason why they should. Even Bryce Deadman, who was second to Quincy Wilson in this race. But that brings up the point. Bryce Deadman was just second to Quincy Wilson in this race. The thing about young athletes that makes them stand out is they don't care. They don't have a reason to be afraid. When you are a young track and field athlete, generally speaking, your entire experience, I mean, hey, I'm talking across the board. You can be a 2, 3, or even a 4-star level recruit and feel this way, where most of your season you win. And you win without all that much effort. That's how you get to D1 in the first place. The difference is that Quincy Wilson is a 5-star recruit. And apparently he's the highest of 5-star recruits. The type that might not even run in college at all. Trust me, I'm getting to that in a moment. When you are at his level, like he's been winning and winning and winning throughout his youth level, junior level, high school level. Like that's what he does. Every once in a while he may lose. And if so, you got to be the best of the best on talent at his age bracket. And even then, kind of got to catch him slipping. And then he went over to the pro level or competing against those who have pro contracts and, on that stage, USAs, USA finals, whatever. And when he gets there, he makes it look like he belongs there. That's why youth is dangerous when they come with this level of talent, because they don't have a chill button that doesn't exist yet. There's no reason to have one. Yeah, when they're 25 years old, like Quincy Wilson in the future, I'm sure that he'll, be a different athlete between now and then. But at this moment, why can't he win? Like, why can't he run fast? Why can't he run fast multiple times? Like, that's just how youth athletes are set up. They just expect to win. They expect to go out. Normally, the only way that you start restructuring how you approach the sport is when you start to lose. And as far as I can tell, Quincy Wilson really hasn't had that moment yet. He has been running, not my words, his words, grown man times. The type of grown man times that even the actual grown men are struggling to put out. Which brings me to my final thought, because as far as Quincy Wilson goes with this whole college recruitment situation, I personally don't think we are ever going to see that man run in a college uniform. The way things are going, like, I get it, NIL, and NIL ain't what you think it is, for the record. That's another discussion that I'm not really feeling like getting into. I've actually shared some of my thoughts on it, so there's no need to go back on it now. Regardless, if he wants to run like this with all of the attention around him, because let's be clear, Quincy Wilson was the biggest draw of the Ed Murphey Classic, which is a pro track event. I mean, that's really what it is. A whole bunch of athletes there who have contracts. But Quincy Wilson was the headliner, especially when Sidney McLaughlin-Levrone pulled out due to sickness. Like, let that think in for a moment. That a high school kid was the headliner at a pro track event. Hands down, it was him. And he didn't just show up because he had a rep. He showed up and then showed out. Like, he gave us a performance that even I didn't see coming. I mean, I knew he would run fast enough, maybe even run a new season best, but 44-1, which was what it was going to take. Like, he was going to need a PR practically to beat this field, and then he gave it because he has it like that. This is what it is. Quincy Wilson is basically been living a double life, but I think that's about to come to an end pretty soon. He's going to probably be running on the pro circuit, and when he does, he'll be graded the exact same way that the rest of the pros do. But there comes a point, and I've said it before a long time ago about Quincy Wilson, but now I'm saying it again, and I really mean it. Like, once you reach that moment where it's pretty clear, you are not like everyone else. What is the point in pretending that you actually are? Because if he does roll up to a college campus, he's not like everybody else. The only thing Quincy Wilson can do if he runs in a college uniform is fail to win, because winning isn't really an option. His personal best in the 400 is, generally speaking, going to be faster than what anybody else in college can actually run in that event. Like 44-10, if we dropped it in the NCAA this year, yes, that puts you all the way at the top. Like, that's just how fast he's going. So, like I said before, what is the point anymore? You might as well focus on what your actual goals are, because winning at the highest level, which does mean the world championships and the Olympics, at least in this sport right now, that's what he's here to do. Everything else is just a formality, because Quincy Wilson is a real one. He's a 99 overall rating if you're trying to convince him to go to college. Specifically, not so much for the education part, you can get that anyway, but to run in your uniform. And since we know that he can run like this, because the context of how he's going fast isn't in these high school races, which means it might not even be so much about that part of the season. He's showing up and showing out when the fastest men in the world, at least the ones who are supposed to be, are on the track. And Quincy Wilson is there, running grown man times, even though he is not a grown man himself. And that's that. In the sport of track and field, race day is honestly the easy part, because all of the real work gets put in when nobody is watching. When you wear every day is training day gear, you can let the whole world know that your success in competition is not an accident. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below, and it always comes with free shipping. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.